La Yehudim, La Yehudim, Oisayra, Oira v'simcha v'sasai meika. La Yehudim, La Yehudim, Oisayra, Oira v'simcha v'sasai meika. Kei lo no, 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 Oira v'simcha la 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 oh yo 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 da 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 oh yo yo oh yo yo da 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 oh yo 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 afraid lachem purim raboisai Dili nishmasi mimarasi and I so many people coming to learn Torah on Purim night. And Be'ezer Hashem, many more tomorrow morning to start off a Purim with Torah. And then, of course, we have the Shir at 10 o'clock at night. Boys, we have Gewaldige wine going around. Welcome to all the guests. Shkoyach. Welcome to all the ferds. A ferd is a horse, if you don't know. A unique ferd. Oh, uniferd. Yivalde. So, you know that during Nedarim, we had a character. Her name was Nachluchas. She was based off a Gemara, all the different things that the Gemara said, the different ears, the feet. I think it was an email, or maybe just a comment online. How dare you depict women like that? Huh? It was an email. I love the shir, but how dare you depict? Well, in the shir I explained this is Lachluchas. That was actually her name in the Gemara. And the Gemara says, but maybe she has nice ears. No, her ears are those of a very large elephant. Maybe she has nice feet. No, they're those of a duck. Kitzer, so we made a thing. Anyway, in true Purim spirit, check this out. Somebody dressed up as Lachluchas. Givaldik. I hope this is not the person that sent us the email. I know it's Purim. Purim is a great time to go out and collect for MDY. Come out of your comfort zone, make groups, go back to your high school days when you went around from door to door. Let's kick it off. Charity. Lamaisa, listen. Yeah, you got to do the limo. You guys have your own. Oh, that's good. Shoymarki Shuim, get over here. Get over here. That's chashuv. That's chashuv. I like it. You're gonna have more thumbnails today than you're gonna know what to do with. Wow. Who's this? I don't know who you are.
You don't recognize me? I sit in this seat right here.
Oh, Rav David. That's awesome. Wow. Look at this. Hold on. That's it. Hold on. Let me see. Show me. Hold on. Let me get your stuff back on. How does it work exactly? And this way? This is great. Yeah, hold on. Let's get a good. If I got one. Okay. Hold on. You got to come here. This way. It's awesome. Okay, Givaldik. Shkoya Rav David. Wow. Kol hakavod. Beautiful. What do you got? We got to learn some Torah today also, a little bit, just a little bit. We'll start it off, yeah?
Speedy is one of the best grapes that grows in Israel. That and Cabernet Franc, the two top grapes that grow in Israel. Oh, Chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam b'rei bria gofen. L'chaim, l'chaim. It is very nice. Wow. I like it. All right. We have plenty of time until the Israeli shir starts. Okay. I want to read some of these names, but I guess we won't. It's Purim. What's that? Did it pass Purim? I'm just going to say Yoel Bergman took $3,600.
Don't worry, you're going to get a phone call about it.
Are you wild? $3,600. Shimon Sandhouse, 1,000 pounds, right? Pounds. Simon Fogel, 1,500 pounds. Mati Kos, 500 pounds. Rafal Posen, 1,000. Bentzi Nussbaum, 500. Year 9 Jewish Grammar Manchester. Look at this, Rabbi Isai. Year 9 Jewish Grammar Manchester. What is that in terms of? But what year is that? 11th grade? 11 to 16. They took 1,000 pounds. Arya Hassel, 1,000. Avram Schwartz, Horn Benny Maslin, 5,000. Yishkoyach, Yaakov Levy, 100. Alicia Deitch, 500. Zevi Adler, 500. Yaakov Ben Tada, 1,000. Danny Scheller, 500. Aaron Ben Avram, 1,000. Shlomi Leitner, 1,800. George Gray, 3,600. Ben Sion Blau, 500. Yitzi Gunsberg, 200. Shaya Spear, 500. Avi Lisser, 100. Itzik Ben Shabbat, 500. And Ashi Leverett, 500. I'll spare you the next list. We'll do that at a different time. Real quickly, we had just pulled out to go from Yerushalayim to Haifa for Shabbos. My wife took the ingredients for the cholent to put up there. And when she heard me listening to Daf and heard about the cholent story from today's Daf, she remembered that we forgot the meat for the cholent. So Baruch Hashem, we're able to turn back and get it. Yeshikoyach Purim Sameach, Shmuel Eidler, the last Encino, Arnona, Yerushalayim, a kiss. And the subject is a kiss from Reb Eli. Every kiss is from Hashem. Okay, Rabbi Isai, unbelievable. You're not going to believe this. We're holding the last line on the bottom of the Daf Gimel Amud Beis. The Omer Rav Yehuda Omer Shmuel. Because Rav Yehuda Omer Shmuel says, in the name of Shmuel, there are three things that Chachamim are permitted to not say the complete truth. B'meseches, you hear? Rabbi Isai, you hear what's going on, Yosef?
Sorry, I was distracted with wine. Did you say the sponsors?
I did not say the sponsors. Oh, you know why?
Yeah, I do know why.
Because we have to say the Yisoidis and Shas. Does anybody remember what a shtarak no is? A shtarak no, besides the Shomer Kishuim, he's not allowed to answer this. What is a shtarak no, Rabbi Isai? Hillel, what's a shtarak no? Oh, you signed the lien already from the minute, even before the loan. Very good. Achrayus to soifer means that if you forget to put it in the shtar, it's still. Oh, here we go. There's more stuff. We're trying to learn Torah over here. Still achrayus. There's still real estate there. Saw b'saw. Does anybody remember what saw b'saw is? That if you borrow a type of food, you can't return that same food. There might be some interest. Many times in Shas, can you sell something that doesn't exist yet? A shtar mukdam is a shtar that has the date, the date that's not the right date.
Yosef asked me to go and stand here for the cover shot.
It's not going to be the cover shot. You ready? You can stand there when you want. Hefker Bezdin Hefker. You all know what Hefker Bezdin Hefker. Shkoyach. Thanks, Yosef. Anybody know what a Simon Muvak is? Simon Muvak. It's a very, very established, understandable sign, recognizable step. Very good. It's Mamish Muvak. It's absolute. Okay. What's a simfoin? Anybody know what a simfoin is? Huh? Receipt. Very good. Does anybody know what Yush means? No. Okay. What do you have to say when there's Yush? Wrong. You don't have to say it. Does anybody know what Miyun is? Miyun is when a Ktana is married off by her own brother and mother, and it's not a real Kiddushin, it's only the Rabbanon. She's allowed to get out of that marriage just by saying she doesn't want to be married. If her father marries her off, it's already Daraisa, and that's a different story. What's Nichse Melug? Property that a woman brings into the marriage, and like a nursing home, and the husband gets to use the payroys throughout the marriage, and he gives it back to her for whatever price it's worth at the time of the divorce. He doesn't take any guarantee, doesn't give her back what it was worth at the time of the marriage. The Masechta is sponsored by Anonymous with the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. The Parnas HaChodesh, Lili Nishma Zechariah ben Moshe, Lili Nishma Zechariah bas Yosef. Parnas HaChodesh. Ahron Fraiman, it should be a zechus to rebellion for continued siyadta dishmaya, it teaching Torah to Klal Yisroel. Parnas HaChodesh, Rafua Shleima Elimlech ben Tzipora Amen. Parnas HaYoim, 0. Art of the month. Anonymous with a zechus for an easy childbirth for his daughter and a healthy baby. MDY headquarter, coffee corner and beverages week. It's the last day. Special from Mendel Lerner, a big part of the shir. In honor of my daughter's chasana, shetisku livnois bayis nemon b'Yisrael. Our boys side, check this out. It says like this, all the way in the bottom. There are 3 things that a Talmid Chacham could lie about. B'meseches, if he's asked, do you know this mesechta? Are you good at this mesechta? He could say no. Why? You're allowed to lie for anava. If you come to the shir and you hear me saying stuff, it's all for anava. Anytime there's a lie, you're allowed to lie for anava. Ube puraya. So Rashi says, relations with one's wife. Taisus says about Kerry. But listen to this. The Marshal says something gewaldik. Marshal says that puraya means, Rabbi Isai, it means Purim. It means Purim. What a kiss from Hashem. That I had enough seichel to stop 3 words before the end of the Amud and not start tomorrow. Mamish, a kiss from Hashem. He says like this, listen to this, that when a Talmid Chacham on Purim, you see it all the time. They come over to you, the drunk guy starts hugging you, and he starts kissing you, and he says, Rebbe, do you know the difference between Haman and Mordechai? So the Rebbe's allowed to go, yeah, Mordechai's a big Russia. You know how the Rebbe does it? He's allowed to fake it. He's allowed to fake the drunkenness. That's what the Marshal says. Bepurayo, oh ade lo yoda, ade lo yoda, ade lo yoda, oh ade lo yoda, 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 ade lo Adelo Yoda. Chaim.
Have a wonderful week.
If you eat a great meal by somebody, you're not supposed to tell people about it. Why? Because they're going to want to eat there as well. I can ask my wife. Every week she receives between 20 to 30 calls from seminary girls. They ate by us once, and it was all over. From then on, they decided to harass her every single week. As much as she tells them, take me off the list. It hurts. So why are you telling me these things? We just spoke about Tviyus Ayin having a recognizable, or having an eye to recognize your object. Talmid Chacham has it when it comes to his own objects, and an Amoritz doesn't. You can take it off already. I feel bad for you. No,
leave it on. Leave it on.
you can leave it on the whole shir. He's schwitzing away in there. Never came to learn Torah.
I hold my breath.
If you know that he never lies, only those 3 special things, then you could say, look, I recognize this thing and I want it. But if you see that he's not so honest and with other things, maybe he's not being honest today. So there's a question, what about on Purim? You go to somebody's house, the guy gives you a nice check. Are you allowed to tell people, go over there? He gives nice checks. We just said ushpiza is a problem. You can't tell people there's a good meal over there. What about checks? So they say, I think Ramosha it is who says that it's okay. I forgot who talks about it. Maybe it's Ramosha. It's okay. Tzedakah, people have to give tzedakah anyway. And if they don't have to give. If they gave already the meiser, the chomish, they don't have to give. So it's not a big deal. But food is different. Says the Gemara story. Mar Zutra Chasida. Mar Zutra was a chassid. Igniv le chassid the kaspa. He was a guest somewhere, and all of a sudden the silver cup goes missing. Chazal Bar Beirav, he noticed the Talmud Chacham, one of the Talmidim over there in the yeshiva, the Moshe Yodei v'nogiv beglima de chavrei. Here, he used somebody else's towel. They say that there was a Litvak that went to his very first tish, and the Rebbe was giving out shirayim, so they gave him a nice piece of oily kugel, and he looked like, "Where's the plate?" He says, "No plate. This is how we eat it over here." So he takes the kugel, he finishes the kugel, and now his hands are full of oil. So he tells the guy, he says, "What should I do?" He says, "Just wipe it on the guy right in front of you." So he says, "Wipe it in front of the guy, but he'll feel it." He says, "Did you feel it when they wiped it on you?" Or says the Gemara. So this is very, very important to remember this halacha, what's going on here. Omar, he noticed, and again, this towel right over here, if you ever learned in the Mir Yeshiva, you'll be traumatized just by looking at this. This is the towel that they have in the Mir Yeshiva that goes in a circle. Goes in a complete circle. Hundreds and hundreds of people actually wash Netilas Yadayim on the towel. You don't have to go to the sink. You just put your hand on the towel and it gets wet automatically. That's the thing. Now, remind the Olam, why am I so traumatized? Because I saw a few times, I saw guys going there. They weren't American, I can guarantee you. Certain people, they went over to the towel and they blew their nose into it too. And then they expect somebody to wipe their hand. And they have that pole, the rod, you know what I'm saying? They do wash it once in a while. They send it out to a special company. The pole they wash. Okay. Omar, listen to this. The Chavetz Chaim told the guy, the Chavetz Chaim saw somebody using a towel that wasn't his in the mikvah. So he told this person, he said, by you using this towel, you just came out of the mikvah dirtier than you came into the mikvah. In other words, you're a ganav. You're a ganav. Sometimes people say, it's just a little bit whatever. No, you can't use your friend's thing. There's no heter whatsoever. I argue with my friend. He's not here, so I could argue. I think he's wrong. He said he's 100% right. I think he's 100% wrong. If you're stuck in a bathroom without toilet paper, you're not allowed to take the toilet paper because of kavod habrios. He says the kavod habrios. I think he's wrong. You're not allowed to take somebody's thing even to save your life. Yes, it sounds crazy, but if you want to save your life, then you're allowed to take on condition you're going to pay him back for pikuach nefesh. But there's no heter in the world to steal to save your life. The heter is if you're going to pay him back. So that being said, he's not here, so he can't stick up for himself. But I'm trying to say the chumrah of gneva. What if you don't pay when you go? Oh, yishkoyach. So that brings to mind now. Obviously, these people are not guilty because whatever reasons they had a reason. But this also is one of I go to the mikvah. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Why isn't it here? Let me see. Oh, here it is. You're supposed to pay when you go to the mikvah, right? Certain people, whatever. Check this out. It's gewaldic stuff. I mean, this is not what you shouldn't do. They're going through one turnstile, and this guy's thinking about it. You know what? There's a little room in there for me too. Okay. What's stuck? It's 5 a.m. Givaldic, all 4 of them. Now this is like toiv of a sheretz biyada. You know what I'm saying? You went in. Now I'm not judging them. They might have they forgot the card at home, but at the end of the day, it doesn't look good. It's miyavuh. Whatever. Okay. I don't own the mikveh, and it's not fine. I heard later on that the mikveh was owned by tziyonim anyway, so it's not. It's a mitzvah to steal. Okay. Omar, l'chaim. They're actually mekayim a mitzvah. All right. So anyway, says the Gemara. Omar says Mar Zutra Chasidu was a guest. Hainu hai. I guarantee you, this guy is the culprit. He's a person that doesn't care about his friend's stuff. He wipes his hands on somebody else's towel. He must have been the person that stole the Kiddush cup. He tied him down just as so, and he delivered a few good blows until he admitted his crime. Rav Shimon Elazar says, if you have brand new, this says in the Mishnah, if you have brand new kalim, you buy a brand new pot, and there's no cement to brand new pot, there's no burn marks, there's no scratches. However, you got used to it. Since you're used to it, you must announce. What does it mean? These are the kalim that are new. What's going on in the back over there? A lot of you guys are very rowdy. Who knows who what? What?
How did you stealing?
Who? The Chofetz Chaim?
From Ganav.
What?
He dried his hands, Ganav.
Oh, Nagav and Ganav. I hear. We're not that deep. These are the kalim that you cannot recognize. You don't have to give back. You're going badim mechatim b'tzinoiriyos. Badim mechatim, it doesn't mean this like a bad. It means something that holds a bunch of needles. B'tzinoiriyos, I'm doing my best to depict something. The one on the left, a bent kind of needle that whatever. Basically, a small tool. They use some strings at the end of the wood. They stick the wood into the axe. So this kind of stuff, you don't have to. It all looks the same. All these things, when you find the individual object, then you can keep it. As we learned, the amount of the lost object is also a siman. So if you have 2, that's a siman. My body, let's go back. What does the word body mean? Doesn't mean cloth. Soiche. It means a branch. My korele badi. Why is it called badi? The taluba midi, because you could attach things to it. Bad davar, the taluba midi, something that you attach something with bad korele is called a bad. Yahud is not awesome. It says by Hoshana Rabbah, we all know it's everybody's favorite mitzvah to take the Hoshanas and bang it on the floor until all the leaves come off. Some say you shouldn't. You should only hit it 3 times and walk away. But the kids are very makbid to take off all the leaves. So it says, what can you use a branch that only has 1 leaf on it? So it says, Allah echad bivad echad. If it has 1 branch, 1 leaf, that's okay. So what's bad? It's not cloth, it means a branch. Allah echad bivad echad. Anytime it comes to the animals, I get all excited. Here's doiv, ari. Bardless might mean a cheetah. Oh, we got a good one. Here's an ari, Purim Sameach, Givaldic. So over here, a bardless would be this, according to hyena, or I like this one. I don't know if you ever seen this one. This is one of the greatest pictures. Or this one. Or this one, I'm sure you didn't see this video yet. This is a guy saving, you know what? But it has sound now. You guys didn't hear the sound the first 6 times. Okay. You know the Hemshech, right? You haven't seen it yet, huh? Who said no? This is a guy trying to save something from a lion. It's mamish what we're talking about over here. But we had a new one, and the file got corrupted, unfortunately. Because the Israelis were upset that we're going to show it tonight. They davened. He smelled somebody's empty white socks. I know people personally that wear the socks a week straight without taking them off. Okay, so anyway. This is what the new video was supposed to look like. Something like this. Wow. It's just, okay, these are stills. Fine. Next time we learn the sugya, we'll see it in 7.5 years or something. You know what zutah shayam is. A guy loses his Rolex watch in the water. Or when she loses, she'll know. We had the video of like in Venice or whatever that place was where the water just came over the sidewalk and takes everything with it. So this is, the Americans, you see that they didn't know how to read really. This is the word. Sratya means street. Instead of being street, they called it street. They flipped the T and the R. Here it is, Sratya, like in German, the numbers in German. The point is, there's a lot of people. Plati Gdoila is like the town center. And these are the words we have to remember in Reb Shimon ben Elazar, because we're going to be talking about Reb Shimon ben Elazar to the bottom of the Amud. Reb Shimon ben Elazar's point is, when there's many people, you can keep it. Now, if we stop right over here, let me ask you a question. He says, when there are many people, you get to keep it. Yeah? What about many Jews? You get to keep it? You say no. Why? Who told you this secret? Chaval, you weren't in the time of the Gemara. You would have been pushed at the Gemara's kasha in a second. Here's another question. Does anybody argue Reb Shimon ben Elazar and says, if there's a lot of people, you cannot keep it? Here's another question. If somebody does argue Reb Shimon ben Elazar, do we pass him like Reb Shimon ben Elazar or not? And if we pass him Reb Shimon ben Elazar, do we only pass him by Jews or also by non-Jews or also by Jews? So for that, let's just see this for a second so we can jump into the sugya. It goes like this. Reb Shimon ben Elazar says halacha. When there's many, many people, you get to keep it. Why? What's the concept? What's the logic? Person is miyayish. He says there's so many people, I'm not gonna. It's so good to see you. How are you? Wow, it's gewaldig. So maybe he's talking about when there's a lot of non-Jews. Gemara says in Tintzaloimar, what about if there are many Jews? A lot of Jews walk around. 600,000 Jews walk around. Is he also miyayish? And even if you say that yes, according to Reb Shimon ben Elazar, if there's a lot of Jews, you get to keep it. Do Rabbanan argue? Oh. Huh? Oh, I forgot we got to change it. Okay, not again. I said I was going to change it after the Hebrew shir. Are they only chaylik on Jews or only on everything? And is that halacha like Reb Shimon ben Elazar, or even if we say that halacha like Reb Shimon ben Elazar, is that halacha like Reb Shimon ben Elazar only by non-Jews, but by Jews we don't pass him like him? So the bottom line is, I think the most important one would be, does Reb Shimon ben Elazar say his halacha that if there's many, many Jews, let's say you found something in Israel where there's so many Jews, the array of Jews, are you allowed to keep it also? Or perhaps he's talking about in New York City where the vast majority are non-Jews, and that's why you can keep it. They don't keep the halachas of Hashav Saveda, so maybe not. Where's the wine guy? We need some more wine here, no? He's gone? So here it goes. Here are all the questions. You hear? Where Reb Shimon ben Elazar said that you get to keep it with so many people that he only speak about when there's a lot of non-Jews, but when there's a lot of Jews not. Or perhaps he said also by Jews. Maybe there was Mecholekes Rabbanon. Maybe the only Mecholekes B'Rav Yisrael Vaday Pligi. Maybe they admit to Reb Shimon ben Elazar that you can keep it in a place where it's non-Jews. Maybe there's machlokes and everything. Halach k'maisa, and halach k'maisa is halach like Shimon ben Elazar or not. And then Salayim halach k'maisa. And even if you say that halach is like Shimon ben Elazar, dafkim Rav Knanim afilu b'Rav Yisrael. Do we say this also by the majority of Jews? Says Gemara Tashma Moitzi Moitzi B'Bata Knisiyos B'Bata Midrashos. We had this halacha. Remember, a person finds money in a shul, in a base medrash, even if it has a simon. The ziyush. Why? The reason is because the ziyush is so many people. Says Gemara, who is the man that says we go by the Roiv? Reb Shimon ben Elazar. Who talks about Roiv? There's so many Jews in a shul. Roiv. That's Reb Shimon ben Elazar's halacha. Shemas mi no, afilu b'Rav Yisrael nami. So he's saying it's halacha even by Jews. You ask me, does he say it's halacha? You're allowed to keep stuff by Yidden? Yes. Here, even a shul. Says Gemara, not a rayach, right? Skin b'fuzarim. Oh, mamish, a kiss from Hashem. I just realized. So it's a word from the Megillah. Mefuzar, mefayrad, no? Talking about money that is scattered. As Gemara b'fuzarim, ma'ir magam sharam mitzuim sham. Then you don't need a shul. Afilein aram mitzuim sham. You find scattered money, can be anywhere. Elalai mitzuim, you're right. It's, let's say, an envelope. So it's a little bit of a doichak, right? Nobody likes this terror so much. We're talking about a shul of goyim, not a church. It doesn't mean a shul. It means batei knesiyos, a place where you gather. This is a gathering hall in the neighborhood, whatever. But that makes sense. You could be doichak like that on a shul, and the word batei knesiyos. But what are you going to do with the word batei midrashos? That the goyim don't have. Ma'ikla meimar. Says Gemara batei midrashos didan. The Yasbu Knanim. We're talking about a shul. We are talking about a Jewish shul, but they have a non-Jewish janitor / security. Yeah? And that brought me to think about the security that we have here in Eretz Yisrael. Sometimes you have guys that are from the other side. They come straight from Gaza and they do security for us in the malls. Or the Chachmei Chelem in England, they let these chevra with the whole thing do the security going on the plane. Now, if they have a brother that's part of I don't know what, they go, okay, kasha v'maisa. You can't. What is it called? No discrimination, but like no to point at racial profile. There's no racial profile. They're wearing a bomb on their head. No, you can't. Okay, fine, kasha v'maisa. Like they'll let this guy over here with his bomb on his head come and do the security. Shkoyach. I'm serious. I've seen with my own eyes, a 95-year-old woman in a wheelchair, and a guy with the whole levush, right, the whole thing, straight out of the thing. They'd let him go right by, and they told this 95-year-old to get out of the wheelchair, and they're flipping it over upside down. The world is nuts. Weiter says Gemara. So what does that mean about the Knesset Knanim? So we have to explain though. There's a little bit of explanation here. So what is a janitor? No, Reb David, what's the pshat? There's Talmid Chacham there all day long. Hundreds of people learning Torah. The answer is because at 1 o'clock in the morning they're sleeping, and that's when the janitor goes around and takes all the money. When whatever he finds is gone, finished. You're not going to find the next day. But the Midrash Didan, the Yasvu Knanim, they also have a janitor. They also have a security. Hashdas is la'achi. But the Knesiyos Nami, the Dan, the Yasvu Knanim. You're talking about a base medrash that has a shomer, so we're talking about a shul also that has a shomer. You don't have to talk about a non-Jewish shul. Tashma. Again, we want to know, the Reb Shimon ben Elazar said when you find the object with so many people, you give up on it, so many people, does it mean also by Jews? Maybe Jews are different. Maybe they'll pick it up and do Hashavas Aveda. Tashma, Motzaba Aveda. You have a city like Borough Park that's full of Jews and full of non-Jews. In Rav Yisrael, Chayv Lahachris. You have to do a calculation. I don't know what the story is in Borough Park. It could be the Rav is non-Jews over there. The amount of non-Jews is crazy. In Rav Yisrael, Chayv Lahachris, you have to do Achros. In Rav Knanim, and Chayv Lahachris. If it's mainly Knanim, you don't have to do Achros. Again, who's the one that invented this idea of Rav? Reb Shimon ben Elazar. He's the one in the Brisa before who says that we go by the Rav. He's talking about Dafka city that has mainly non-Jews. If you found in such a place, you cannot keep it. Hamani Rabbanani says the Gemara. I'll tell you what. No. This whole halacha wasn't even said by Rishon Lazar. You're trying to figure out what Rishon Lazar meant? No. This is a Rabbanan. Forget it. So if it's Rabbanan, then might be Rabbanan Rishon Lazar. In other words, you're telling me that Rishon Lazar holds that even when there's a majority of Jews, you're allowed to keep it. This that says over here, Dafke Goyim, it's not. He wasn't the author of this. The Chacham were the author. So that means that they'll argue on when there's a row of Jews. At least let's have one answer to all the 5 questions that we had. That what the Rabbanan are going to hold that when it comes to Goyim, they admit to Reb Shimon Lazar. No, Reb Shimon Lazar, forget it. We're going to drop that. It's not Rabbanan. It is in fact Reb Shimon Lazar. And we're talking about there's a majority of Jews. The reason why I have to give it back is because it was hidden. As we're going to see tomorrow, that what? If it's hidden, why did he take it? You're not allowed to take something that's hidden. Let's say you're in a garbage dump and you find something, there's a garbage dump in front of somebody's house, and there's something hidden there. Don't take it. Kidisnan, we'll see tomorrow. If it's covered, somebody hid it there on purpose. Megula, but if it's wide open on top of the garbage, then what? Votna, what did I say? Votna, it says in the Mishnah later, tomorrow. Says the Gemara, so we have to explain that. The Gemara explains tomorrow. It's a type of garbage that he intends to leave it there forever. But then the balbos comes, so he thought, the guy hiding it says, wow, I got a great hiding place. Nobody will ever find my stuff. Because the owner told me he's never going to move this garbage heap. And then he went and he moved it. So, hold on. I got to show Reb David because he was getting dressed while we were doing this. And I got to show him this thing. You remember Lachluchas, Reb David? Check this out. I like yours.
Good choice.
Try to make you sure you make a good choice. Givaldic. Anyway, just wanted to show him. And I don't know if I showed this picture yet today. Let me just show this. Okay, fine.
No, the Hebrew share starts in 10 minutes, right?
Oh boy, we have plenty of time. Fine. Okay, talk to Gemara. Even though maybe the Gabe was not musically bash, so then all of a sudden the balabas comes and says, oh, I got to throw all this garbage. But you said you're not going to. People hid stuff in there. So therefore, and therefore, you take it and you announce it. Once you talk about garbage, we must say the story of Rav Gifter. A couple came to him and said, we have a big problem. The husband doesn't want to take out the garbage ever. What do we do? He says, it's a big problem. Why do you want to take out the garbage? He says, what do you mean? I'm a big Talmid Chacham. I learn Koil all day. He says, you're right. You shouldn't take it out. Go home. Kitzer, they go home and something's up here. I don't know. I see the Elim is coming, going. The door's opening every 3 seconds. Okay. We'll just, this Hebrew share.
When is garbage day?
So all of a sudden, next morning, knock on the door. The Rosh Hashiva, Rav Gifter is there himself. Shalom Aleichem Rosh Hashiva. I'm here to take the garbage. I want to show that's not a bizayin. Even though you're in Koil, you can take the garbage out. It's fine. So anytime I see Josh Ashman taking out the garbage, I said, oh, good morning, Rav Gifter. How you doing, Rav Gifter? Fine. Zokti Gemara. There's no sponsors today. Ner Tamid of Baltimore in honor of Fishel and Simcha Gross. Thanks to them, 137 people learned 16,000 daf in 727 minutes, 1,000 minutes, and mesayem sells Bava Kama. Says Gemara, the whole thing is Rabbanon. Mikatani hein shaloi. It doesn't say you could get to keep it. What does that mean? V'yaniach. So Rabbi said there's 3 categories now. V'yesei Yisrael v'yoyba simon v'shakel. In other words, there are 3 categories. When you find something and you take it home, there are 3 options. Either you get to keep it and use it, you must return it, find the owner, or you don't do anything. You don't use it, you don't do anything. You just wait until Eliyahu Navi comes. That's what's going on here. You wait until somebody comes to you and gives you a siman. Until that time, you can't use it. Toshma, Domer Rabasi. He found a barrel of wine in a city that mainly non-Jews. So what's the problem now? Yayin nesech. Says the Gemara, Muteres Mishum Metzia. You found it, keep it. Vasur bahana, but you're not allowed to have any benefit from it. So why do you want it? Boy Yisrael v'nasim b'simin. If now listen to this, Rabbi Isai. This is a brand new story, straight off the press. This happened in Letterman Shul. You think you know the story, but you don't. It's mamish fresh. Made it up yesterday. A guy found a tablet in Letterman Shul in Bnei Brak. So he put up a sign. If anybody lost a tablet, please call this number. So a guy lost a tablet. He was so excited to see that somebody found his tablet. So he says, "No." He says, "You found my tablet. I'm so happy." He says, "Yeah, I'm also happy. You have any simanim?" He says, "Yeah, this, that." He says, "That's not good enough, Simon. I'll tell you what. You know the code?" He says, "Yeah, this is the code." He says, "Thank you very much. I want to use the tablet. I didn't have the code. Now I have the code. Don't ever call this phone number again." Freilichen Purim. That was it. No, this guy's a bad guy. That's exactly what happened. I got the story from the Gemara right here. Guy finds a barrel of wine. He doesn't know. It's yayin nesech, not yayin nesech. So he puts up a sign. Did anybody lose a barrel of wine? So the guy calls, "Yeah, I found." He says, "No, you have any simanim? What's your name?" "Beryl Gutzmach." "Oh, Jew. He's Jew." "Fine. You Jewish?" "Yeah, I'm Jewish." "Great. You have any simanim?" "Yeah, it says my name on the bottom of the barrel." "Let me look." "Oh, yeah, it does." "Thank you very much. Don't ever call this number again. Now I can use the wine because now I know it's Jewish wine." Gewaldig. Mamish disgusting. Says the Gemara, "Boy Yisrael v'nasim b'simin." If Yisrael comes and gives him the code, muteres b'shtil l'maitza. The guy that finds it gets to keep it, and now he knows because of the simin, he fooled him, and now he knows he gets to keep it. This is like Rav Shimon Lazar that says what? That if you find something in a place that's most Kananim, you hear? Kananim, Ruba Kananim. So what's that going to tell us at Teretz? But not in a city that has majority Jews, then you don't get to keep it. Says Gemara, no. Maybe he said you get to keep it even in the middle of Borough Park, in the middle of Ramat Shemesh, all Jewish. It doesn't mention Reb Shimon Lazar's name here. All it says, Ravasi says it. Okay, so Ravasi holds like Reb Shimon Lazar in a city where it's majority non-Jews. How do you know that Reb Shimon Lazar himself, the one that we're asking about, this whole chart over here is in Reb Shimon Lazar? Maybe he holds that in a city that's majority Jews, you find a nice bottle of wine here, in the middle of the Merkazim Zechurya and Ramat Shemesh, you get to keep it. Maybe that's what he holds. Says the Gemara, just a simple question. If it's usher to have any sort of benefit from it, you can't even bathe in it, no benefit. Why in the world would the guy want to keep it? He wants the bottle. He's one of those guys, goes around collecting bottles. He takes bottles all day, he puts 10 agorot, another 10 agorot. So that was the problem. Says the Gemara story, he found 4 zuz. The Tzayir Bezdina was in like a handkerchief tied. Somebody threw it into the river. So what's the halacha? When you find a watch in a river, what's the halacha, Rabbi Isai? Get to keep it. So he goes to Rabbi Yehuda, no, you don't get to keep it, you have to announce it. What's going on here? We learned that if you find something in a river, you get to keep it. Shani Nahar Beiran says the Gemara is different. So we have something like this. They would make dams in the river to catch the fish, right? So in the middle there would be an indentation. So in Nahar Beiran, the guy that lost his money, he runs to the dam over there. There's like a little hole somewhere. The fish come over the wall. Boom! His money's also going to come over the wall. So he never has use. He knows. He figures eventually it's going to fall in there. It's like a filtration system. As the Gemara Baruba Kananim, but Beiran, we know where Beiran is. It's a very non-Jewish place. And we see we don't pass Reb Shimon Lazar says this is Roiv Kananim. You get to keep it. What's going on here? Over here it says you have to be machers. Shanim Nahar Beiran, the Yisrael Sachrulei, it's the Jews that made the dam. The Yisrael Korulei, and they're the ones that dug it out. Even the Yisrael Sachrulei as the Gemara Yisrael Nofal. Maybe it's a Jewish person that works there by the dam. Maybe there's no yush. That's why, says the Gemara, you have to be machriz. Says the Gemara, Rav Yehuda Shmuel. Rav Yehuda, the famous Talmud of Rav and Shmuel, he's walking behind Shmuel, giving him covet. You walk in the front, Rebbe. B'shuka de Daisa, and the shuk of Daisa. In Hebrew, Daisa means porridge. It means the place where they would sell wheat. What if you see how many people, Rebbe, are here? Rebbe, what's the halacha if I find the wallet? What? The halacha is you get to keep it. What if a Jew comes and says, I have a simon? You have to give it back. Tarti, it's a contradiction. You said you get to keep it, and then a second later you tell me you have to give it back to a Jew if he gives you a simon. This is talking about above and beyond the halacha. He found donkeys in the desert. He gave it back, even though it was 12 months later. Why? There's an unbelievable halacha here when it comes to Hashavas Aveda. When it comes to Hashavas Aveda, חבר'ה תשבו, תמצאו מקום, תשבו, אנחנו מעיפים את האמריקאים האלה בעוד 2 דקות, אל תדאגו. They don't understand, הם לא מבינים מה שאנחנו מדברים. So, just real quickly, because we really got to get going here. There's a halacha that's unbelievable. Write this down. When it comes to Hashavas Aveda, it makes a difference if you're rich or poor. If you are wealthy and you found something that's owned by a poor, give it back. But if you're poor and you found the wealthy person's object, you don't have to give it back. There's no lefnim mishur sadin. That halacha applies only once in Hashavas Aveda. It does not apply, of course, when it comes to stealing. You can't say, oh, that guy is so wealthy. You have no idea. He just gave $45 million to this shul and $10 million. You think he cares about a 25-cent piece of toilet paper? Doesn't matter if he cares or doesn't. You cannot, justify, or there's a better word, rationalize, thank you. Can't rationalize Geneva, even if it's 10 cents, even if the guy is a gazillionaire, even if it's Bill Gates, and he doesn't even know what $1 is. You cannot take it from him. That's the bottom line. Says the Gemara. Rava was walking behind his Rebbe, Rav Nachman, in the marketplace that sold leather. And some say there's the marketplace of Rabbanon. We have no idea what that means. Is it like a shidduch place? You want to go get a Rav, you go to this, we don't know. They hang out there in this marketplace. What happens if you find the wallet here? You get to keep it. Different than what Rabbi Yehuda said. What if a Jew comes and gives a simon? When it comes to money, you get to keep it. But he's screaming, I lost my wallet, give it back to me. No. It's like somebody screaming when his house falls down. You can scream as much as you want, it's lost. And like you see your boat going down, screaming doesn't help. Says Gemara, the shakal bisr b'shuka. Here's a dayoy, not this one, this one. Oh, this is the secher. This is when they put like a dam, they put like a net, and he's thinking that his.
It's not a vulture?
Rabbi, get me the piece of meat, please, from the refrigerator quickly. Oh, I showed this already. Fine, no, I don't need. Fine. Says Gemara, this is a dayoy. This is as Rashi says, if you look at Rashi, Dibra Maskul Dayoy, Oif Shikorim vulture. You see it in Rashi? A vulture. It's a massive, massive bird. Trust me. It was very difficult to take this picture. It's very dangerous. He could eat you up. No, I didn't take it. The Shoga Bisr Vishuka. Meshadi Bitzin Yosa the Beimar Meryoin. He took it. What? I did. I have pictures. They're not as good, and I wasn't able to see them on my computer. I have them on my computer actually. You know what? If there's no birds, you can put a cat. It's the same. Anyways, he takes the piece of meat, puts it between the different palm trees. Also, comes to Abai. You could keep it for yourself. As the Gemara of Aruba Yisrael, but most people that live there are Jews. Isn't this a great raya? That the law is that if there's the majority Jews, you're allowed to keep it even when they're Jews. Here, you're allowed to keep it. Says Gemara, no raya, shani dayo. When it comes to vultures, when you know that a vulture took your meat, you know it's for lawyer and finished. End the story. And also I looked it up today again. There's a halacha that when you leave meat uncovered, not watched, You're not allowed to eat it. Why? Because maybe somebody switched the meat. Maybe an animal switched it from this piece to piece. Even a large piece. Even a large animal, says the Shulchan Aruch. What's the famous story? Oh, the famous story in the airplane. Yeah, that the guy was sitting, Rav was sitting next to an anti-Semite, and he got up to go to the bathroom, and when he came back, he was about to take a bite from a sandwich, and he said, you know what? It's bosher s'nesalim and I'm not going to eat it. And like an hour later, the guy next to him says, "Why, Rabbi, you're about to eat and everything. Why didn't you eat it?" He says, "Because we have a law." He says, "It's a good thing you didn't eat it, because when you were gone, I switched it with a cheeseburger. I made sure that was treif." Says Gemara Bava Metzia, when I saw the bird take off with my meat, I was so upset. I followed his flight path, and I see him dumping it by the palm tree. Says Gemara Chanina, think about this story for a second. Think about how we act today and what the Gemara is saying. He found a goat that was shechted between two cities. They said you could eat it. Who in their right mind today? Where are you going and why are you coming? Why is this the fifth time? I think there's something up. It's with people who don't have phones. I got it. I'm starting to chop what's going on here. They said you're allowed to keep the goat because, like Reb Shimon Elazar says, that if you find something, there's a lot of people, you get to keep it. But what about the shchita? Rabbi Sai, is it badat? Is it agudas Yisrael? Is it machbud? Or a Baruch Shalom? It could be Rubin Chas V'Shalom or Kehilas. Who knows? I don't know. Why could you eat it? If somebody loses his stuff, his goats, his chickens, and he finds them shechted. A guy mamish did him a big favor, shechted but left it there. So according to you're allowed to eat it. So I'm saying you're allowed to keep it, the mitzvah, because of Shimon Elazar, you're allowed to eat it. Says the Gemara, Odaka. Says Gemara, I like Rabbi Yehuda when he says that you're not allowed to eat this goat. Why? Because he found it in a heap of trash. Why would somebody shecht the goat and throw it into the garbage can? The answer is because it's treif. So he threw it there. That's why you can't eat it. When you find it in the house, then you're allowed to eat it. Says the Gemara, how could I be mata shchita? Maybe an Arab shechted it. So you see, Shamas Mino, Allah Shimon Elazar, Fil B'Rav Yisrael, you're allowed to keep it even though the majority of the people are Jews. Omarava, maybe not. Rav Knan of Rav Tabach Yisrael, maybe it's a city full of non-Jews, but the ones that do the shechita are Jewish. We're going to go to the Mishnah. Rebbe Yami Ashkach Pargiyos Shchutis Ben Tver Litzi Poyer. Rebbe Yami found pigeons that were shechted between Tver and Tzipoyer. Also the Kamei Rebasi. V'Amri Lo Kamei Rebbi V'Amri Lo Ben Midrasha. Gewaldig. Yoela, man nishma. He has the cell phone, his thing. Bo, Billyack, bo. בוא'נה, יש לנו כאן את השווי מקישורים. בוא, תקום שווי מקישורים. את השווי מקישורים אתה מכיר? אתה לא זוכר את השווי, לא היית כאן בשווי מקישורים? בוא. אני לא רוצה לנגוע, אנחנו מקפידים על... רגע, היה עוד אחד. היה שתיים, בזה השני. כן, תשים סמארטפון בשני. חבל על הזמן. כל הכבוד. You see, there's a lot. בוא'נה, לא. טוב, ישכוח, תודה רבה. Shaking in the hand. אחותי הלכה, I'm talking in Hebrew. My sister, she works, I don't know if she still works there, she went to AT&T, and she comes into the building, she went for her first interview, and they actually hired her. So she goes into the building, and the guy shakes her hand, so sticks out her hand, she says, I'm sorry, we don't shake. She says, I'm sorry. And then he says, let me show you to the elevator, so pushes the button. She gets to like the 15th floor, and a woman like greets her by the elevator, so my sister extends her hand. She goes, no, I already heard that you don't shake hands. It's okay. Says the Gemara. Where are we? 1 minute. Says the Gemara. So you're allowed to take these these, I don't know what language is speaking. I'm getting so confused there. We have these shechted pigeons. You're allowed to eat them. They were shechted by Yidden. Reb Yitzchok nafcha. Ashkach kiburo de izle be'ozale. He found the strings that make the traps. Also coming to Reb Yochanan. Either we went to Reb Yochanan or went to the base measures. Zil shkol and shach. You're allowed to take it for yourself. Rabbi say afraid l'chem purim. Tomorrow morning 7:15. Shachris before at 5:55, 5:45. Shachris afterwards with Kriyas HaMegillah and everything at 8:05. And Motzei Purim 10 o'clock. Rabbi said, don't feel pressured to come visit me. I'm trying to prepare shiurim. I would love to see the island, but don't feel pressured. If you don't, I love you even more. Yishkoyach. Afrei l'chem Purim.